Welcome to the Integrative Shift by Chasm. This podcast is going to tell the stories of our members and their journeys across from allopathic medicine to integrative medicine. Subscribe to follow the growing conversation around whole person medicine and our journey to bring integrative approaches into the heart of healthcare. Today, we introduce Dr. Marika van Lelyveld. She's an integrative and a functional doctor. Welcome, Marika.
Thank you, Elma.
Lovely to meet you finally face to face, and I'm curious to hear your story. So perhaps we can start off by asking what led you to explore integrative medicine?
So Elma, it was a couple of things actually. So, I studied medicine in Pretoria, finished my medical degree there, did an honors degree in pharmacology. I had aspirations of working for some of the pharmaceutical companies back in the day. Did an MBA through Thames Valley in England as well. So I was quite keen on going into that area. And then I started working in the trauma units. My husband was specializing at the time, and I started working and was head of the trauma units for a couple of years. So I worked in Pretoria and Joburg. And while I was working actually at the Old Flora trauma unit, I was feeling quite bad because it was after my second child. And there was a Dr. Brandt from America, and he was talking at the Mayo Clinic actually about skincare. But in his talk, he chatted about hormones and how health and how eating well and balancing your lifestyle can actually take care of your skin as well. And he was talking about a little bit of the American Society of Anti-Aging Medicine, and he was part of that as well. He sadly passed a couple of years ago. But that started me thinking, but listen, there must be more about medicine than just what we see. A lot of the doctors at that stage, because integrative medicine was not actually part of our curriculum, all of us sort of started self-teaching. We were part of WUSM or Dr. Thierry Herzog or the American Society of Anti-Aging Medicine, A4M, and we started studying ourselves and educating ourselves. And luckily for us, the South African Integrative Society with, at that stage, Salal and the compounding pharmacy and Dr. Craig Golding started doing the lectures, and we could do it. So we had the lectures at the old Grayston Drive there in Joburg, in Sandton, and we did the American exams in about 5 years that we did the various models. When I came back to the Vaal Triangle, although integrative medicine is obviously a lot of things, it's autism, it's neuro, it's heart, etc. The Vaal Triangle is quite a sort of a small town community, and I sort of had to make the decision what I'm going to do. So I decided to sort of concentrate on hormonal health, just being able to impact and help more people. And I am actually still contracted in with medical aids as well, so it makes it affordable for the patient.
There was the turning point had to do with finding out new things from people like Dr. Brandt and so on.
Yes. And just so having that mind shift. Being Thomas Trout, which is a philosopher, wrote a book about, we've got steel ship these days instead of wooden ships. And the reason why we have it is because people started contemplating the floating of things instead of the sinking of things. And I thought to myself, but maybe in medicine, we should start thinking about the healing of things instead of the sick things, which we were doing. We were treating the problems and we were making it worse, and our patients weren't getting better. But you were just, you didn't have any answers. And I really wanted to have an answer because the patients could not come back and back and back with chronic diseases, and you keep giving them the same thing. I mean, if it doesn't help, you can't mend the problem with the same mind that created it.
So from your side, there's so many definitions of integrative medicine, especially in South Africa. Everybody has an own interpretation. How would you define integrative medicine?
Mind, spirit, body. And in allopathic medicine, which is just, the general medicine that I was taught in, it's still a very, very difficult thing to bring in that spiritual part, that emotional part. And when we started with this, we were crucified for just thinking out of the box. Now, luckily with COVID, There's a lot of the specialists that started thinking our way. And I mean, brain, gut health, you can hear lectures from Stellenbosch University that actually acknowledges this. And these are things that we've been preaching for years, and we were ostracized and criticized. Difficult thing, and I do try and read my patients as well, where they're coming from. Are they ready for that spiritual part, that emotional part, or are they only ready for, getting the hormones fixed? And then we take it step two, looking at the nutrition, looking at the traumas, looking at things. And I'm not always trained with that, so I would gladly refer them to somebody that can help them.
It was not just the pill cure, but the preventative and lifestyle kind of your responsibility as a patient as well.
Patients, I call them biohackers because they sort of vary everything about themselves, but they're actually quite easy to work with because they want to be healthy. They want to heal themselves. And one of the things that on many of the occasions with our lectures, and one of the speakers mentioned, is your patient must believe you and they must buy into the treatment plan as well. If they're resistant, you're going to get nothing. And that is that sort of spiritual part of it.
Not so much the top down, the doctor knows everything, but the patient's knowledge and research, and if people are open to the online world with information and webinars.
Tell them, listen, I know this much, but surely there's much more out there that we might not understand. But I'm not saying it's nonsense. I think there's value in everything.
So that's why I always like to say that integrative medicine is not separate from allopathic medicine. It's just a bigger picture. It just has wider toolbox, and we incorporate a wider field of influences and cures. So what are the benefits that you've seen in your practice from practicing integrative medicine?
So obviously I concentrate on hormone health, male, females, and, sort of kids as well, but from 12 years up.
Bioidentical hormones?
Yes, bioidentical hormones, supplements when it's needed. And, the most rewarding part is if you can get a patient that is in Florida, America, pregnant after 5 years of going to infertility clinics, and you just fix her hormones, and she's pregnant, the baby's being born now in September, and just patients' lives are being changed. Marriages are being saved. They feel better. They look better. That's sort of what we want.
We could reach everybody with this information so that more people can really be helped. Eh? So do you find it difficult to balance the whole person medicine with the allopathic medicine, or have you mostly sort of shifted over?
We still see a lot of allopathic medicine because I think the area is not always that well informed.
Yeah.
But generally the patients that end up with you have tried allopathic medicine and they come to you because nothing else has worked. So generally they're open to more things, but I would refer them. I don't do the spiritual path with them. I do think you need somebody that's capable. So I would do the hormone pathways and I would fix that, and then I would refer to whoever that can take them that step further. And I would be quite frank with them and say, listen, I think you need X, Y, and Z. Your path is finished here. We've reached what we can, but I think there's other things for you to explore, traumas to sort out.
And then do you refer them to psychologists, coaches, and people like that?
Or just, people that obviously we know from our group as well.
Yes. And nutrition people as well?
Yeah, so we've got quite nice dietitians in the area and chiropractors that refer to me. And I must say the specialists in the area are quite open to me. So I have a lot of specialists that are patients of mine, and their family are patients of mine. I do struggle with the GPs a little bit. They still don't buy into it. They're sort of a bit resistant and anti what we do.
That is very interesting that the specialists are more open, but I need to follow up on that.
I don't know. I think the reason is my husband is a specialist anesthetist. So he's got contact with the surgeons and the thoracic surgeons and the urologists, and he obviously uses what I've given him. So, he goes out there and he tells everybody, go and see my wife. She will fix you. I feel so much better. I think it had a little bit to do with him telling everybody that, he just feels so much better since he had his hormones fixed a couple of years ago.
That is
So
so wonderful. And you said you were also feeling dreadful before you made the
yeah,
shift. And how have you
after that
personally
second
benefited?
trial. So obviously the hormones, I've been on HRT, I'm 58, I've been on HRT for about 10 years. And I think that perimenopause was the most difficult part of the journey. And especially being on contraception, it interferes with the hormones after your kids, you're just not yourself. And I was working in the trauma units, the baby was about 3 weeks old, it was like just crazy. It cannot be normal. There must be a reason for it. And you start searching for answers, which luckily led you to integrative medicine. And we were very lucky that we were just sort of getting it at the right time. Because initially when we started, it was very difficult. The labs didn't know what to do. The medication, the hormones that we needed to import it. It was held up at Port Health. It was very costly. So I honestly think the compounding pharmacies in South Africa was a game changer, that we were able to do it, and we were able to do it cost effectively as well.
Absolutely. So it sounds to me your career, your job is also on an emotional level more rewarding at this point. Was that correct?
Yes, very much so, very much so.
Sure, that is wonderful. If there was one thing that you would like allopathic doctors to understand about integrative medicine, what would that be?
I would really want them to understand that we are here to work with them. We are not here to steal their patients. We want to help their patients to feel better. And we can do one part and they can do another part. Because I do think very often the other doctors feel threatened by us, and they don't understand it. And it's not even, I always tell the patients, don't be angry with your doctor, because if you didn't study it further, you will not know it, and you will not know that you don't know it, because it's not in your basket of knowledge. So I would really want them to just, if you're not educated, just be open and just know that we're taking a journey with your patient, but we're not stealing your patient. The patient is still going to go to you for their flu or whatever.
So is there one tool or practice that you can't imagine being without now?
HRT.
Maybe if I could just ask you lastly, in terms of being part of the SASM community, what sort of benefits are you experiencing there?
Amazing. So there's so many things that we weren't even aware of, things that we forgot. For instance, the bees, the propolis thing. We learned it, and we used it when I was, in the trauma units, and when we used to work at State Hospital, we used honey in the wounds and but you then forget about it. So there's so many things that we just learn again. And just open up your mind about things that you didn't even know about. So it's wonderful. I really enjoy it tremendously.
Any final word that you would like to say to our doctors that watch our podcasts?
Yeah, just thank you very much for including me in your group. I've been learning a lot, and I hope that I can contribute as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Lovely to speak
Thanks,
to you.
Anna. You too.
Thank you.